How did you get the Goose nickname?
Goose?
Oh, yeah, your call
okay,
sign.
well, when I went to Korea, we had a neat squadron commander. He actually died years later when we came back to the States. He was on his way back from Nellis, and we figured he had hypoxia or something, but he went straight in, flying back from Nellis to Cannon Air Force Base. But anyway, he was our squadron commander, Major Pidcock, and really a neat guy. And there were several Bills in the squadron, and he'd always pronounce my name Gaessler or Gaessler, and I said, my dad always said, you have your right in telling people how to pronounce your name. So I said, sir, it's Gaessler. Okay, Gaessler, And anyway, that became Goose, and so we were all bachelors over there, And so when we got back to the States off the ship, we sailed back. Oh, that's another neat story. We sailed back in high seas, up and down, low. Anyway, when we got off the ship and then back to Cannon, when the guys that were married and their wives start showing up, honey, I'd like to have you meet Goose. But so I always had to tell them the story how it became Goose. And one of the helmets even has Goose on it.
Yeah.
So everybody from then on knew me as Goose Gaessler.
That's funny. Very cool. Did you have a nickname or a call sign?
No, I'll get a call sign when I'm in the fleet.
Gotcha.
It's usually something embarrassing.
When you, the Navy and the Marines, don't you end up with a call sign that stays with you
Yep.
forever and ever? The Air Force never did that, They have squadron call signs and all that, but
Yeah, well, so your aircraft will have like whatever call sign based on your aircraft.
do
but
you
then
get to
as a-
pick your call sign, or how do you?
No, your peers give you your call sign. Usually they'll do like a kangaroo court, and like the new guys in the squadron or whatever, that's like when they'll like give you like the call sign is going to be like on your aircraft,
Yeah.
that you kind of keep for life. And it's almost always something embarrassing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and if you get a cool call sign, that actually usually means that they think you're not very cool. So like Maverick and Top Gun. In real life, most of the people whose call sign is like Maverick are guys that think that they're really cool, and everybody else is like, you're not cool. So they'll call him Maverick, like sarcastically. Or I met a Marine pilot whose call sign was Blooper, because when he got to his squadron, he was sick for like 2 months and was pooping blood.
Yeah.
And so then his call sign for the rest of his life became Blooper, which was blood pooper. So, and like you wouldn't know that if you don't know him. But yeah, we asked him for like 3 days straight to tell us the story of his call sign, and he really didn't want to, but finally after 3 days he told us.
I wondered how they came up with those.
Yeah, so it's usually based on like, your personality or like something that you did while you were at the squadron, and then you kind of carry that with you.
Yeah.
Everybody wears them as like a badge of honor, even though they're embarrassing. So, yeah.
Did the Navy and the Marine guys get along pretty good, or is there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there isn't any difference, or we between the TAC and the SAC guys, I mean, well, that's another thing, when you go to war, I mean, we always badmouth the SAC guys and vice versa, but boy, in Vietnam, when there's somebody on the ground or somebody bailed out or something, man, everybody, they call it flaming arrow, and as soon as you hear a flaming arrow, no matter what you are, everybody goes after that guy, no matter what. It's pretty amazing.